Now that you have successfully drawn your truss, now is the time that we're going to build the truss. So you have your drawing like this. It is all done, it's complete, and you make sure that everything is done right. Now is the time that we're going to build a truss. Here is the final outcome of our truss. So we're going to build one of these. Now, how do you go about doing that using your paper? My suggestion to you is, if you see my red lines right here, you see the angle that we got to cut right here. See this one? We got to cut that angle, then we got to come down here and cut these angles. Now, those aren't always easy to do, but to copy those off from our drawing, one quick way of doing it is, if you take a look, this line goes straight up through, doesn't it? So we set our stick on the line, make sure everything's lined up. We take a ruler or any kind of straight edge, and we transfer that line using our drawing. So then I can come down here. If you notice, I extended these lines out with the pen, so otherwise that angle's hidden. So if I extend that line out both ways, I can use that line to copy down the angles. So what we're going to do is copy down the angles. Then we will take a saw and we'll cut that. Now, how many of these do we need? 1, 2 of them, don't we? So then I would continue to cut this one, this one, this one, this one. I would get all of my pieces cut. So once all the pieces are cut, then I'm going to set them on my drawing. Set them on my drawing like this to make sure my angles are cut. Sometimes we need to go back and modify a little bit. This piece goes right here. Now it's easy to get off, so that's why it's important to follow your drawing. Then we put our centerpiece in. Kind of squeeze the truss together, make sure we're on our lines, and everything is good the way we want it. So now that I have my truss, remember the Gussel plates we had in a previous discussion? The metal Gussel plates that traditionally go onto a truss system. Well, we're not going to be using those. They're too difficult to put in, too difficult to cut up and everything else. To represent what these Gussel plates will be is, you just take a thin piece of tag board or a thin piece. If you're at home, you can use just a stiffer piece of paper or anything. But if you're in class, I have these pre-cut for you, so you can grab those. Now, what I'm going to do is, let's say I'm going to come up to this one right here. Now I can take that and I can mark it, and I'm going to cut it. Cut it with a pair of scissors and cut it so it fits. Then I'm going to do that with all of the other ones. I'm going to cut this so it fits on here. Remember, it can hang off on the inside, and that's what traditionally happens on most trusses too. Now, how do we attach this to the piece of wood? If you're at home, you can use just common glue. It just takes quite a while for it to set up, so you can use just regular glue. In the classroom, we're going to use hot glue guns, and if you have a hot glue gun at home, you can also use a hot glue gun to glue those paper strips on there to represent the truss. So now, that's how you're going to do that, how you're going to construct that truss. So now that I have it constructed, right here, we have one constructed. If I have little paper over the side, just trim it off. I want these cut with scissors and not just ripped. So make sure that you have that done. Then what I will do is I will then grade this. If we take a look on our grade sheet, the last thing I'm going to do is grade the truss Then we just got a few things that we got to hand back in at the conclusion of this project. So that is how we construct a truss. Now, some of you that will finish up early, you maybe want to do a roof truss system. In the video, or you can see this right here, it is a roof truss system. Now, to do this, I realize I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trusses for this. In a traditional home, you will have many, many more than that. I understand that. But if you do just the 5, it will give the representation of a nice look that you can have for that roof. Now, if you're just gonna follow me for a second, I wanna put this on the house so you can see how it would look. Now, there is a truss system, and I know the gables, we also have the built-out gables and stuff, but for an introductory kind of class, want to keep it to a minimum and just time-wise and everything else. So that's how it would look on the house. Now, there are many more options that we can do for this house. We could side it, we can build furniture, we can roof it, we can do all kinds of things once you get past building your truss. Now remember, only one truss is required. Any more than that, it's totally up to you. Have a good day. Thank you.